Hey folks, another episode of Big Willy's Fab Shop. I'm Big Willy. Today's episode, we'll be taking a right turn here and not working on the 1995, no, excuse me, what the heck year is it? 58 build project. We're actually working on a Corvette item today. Co-worker asked me to 3D scan his center console here, Gage cluster, since he'll be designing a new one with some aftermarket gauges, etc. So I kind of thought it fair to document my process on 3D scanning. Don't have a process yet, but we'll figure that out on the go here. And then also I want to try, I was reading some forums, since this is pretty flat black and some of these corners are going to be kind of hard to 3D scan. And I was going to try not to put the dots on everywhere because then I have to remove it and that just sounds like a hassle. I was reading, some people suggest they have some 3D scanning spray, but that's, I don't have any of it and it's kind of expensive. The alternative I hear is this foot powder spray from CVS. So we're gonna give it a go. It's essentially just a powder spray, so it's, you just wipe it right off. So with that, I think I will jump to washing this. We're gonna give this a quick clean, get some of the crud out, and then I'll spray it, and then we'll scan it, and then we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it's usable. I think the biggest features he would like to get is all these mounting features. That's kind of the crucial area. And then from there, any other detail I can get, the better. So with that, furthermore, nevermore, whatever heck transition word you're supposed to use here, let's get at it. All right, so now we moved into the kitchen sink. First step here, just clean the sink, so people on YouTube won't hate on you for having dirty sink. Well, they still find a reason to hate on you. Second step is grab a nice cold beverage of your choice, crack it open, take a sip. Yep, that's cold. Third step, what are we on? 3, 4, 3. Yeah. Third step, grab your piece, and since it's just all plastic. A couple screws here and there, so it's all pretty much washable. You don't want to let it soak, but a quick rinse and a little bit of scrub, and it should be fine. So with that, and the reason why I'm washing it to get most of this dust off. Do I really need to? No, but you know, it's good filming. Watching, video of me cleaning, it's always a good time. No, not really. But anyways, get it clean and then we can spray it with that powder, whatever it's called. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Anyways, spray that after that, then it should have a good surface to start scanning. So with that, we'll give it just a good little bit of power wash here. Should be good on plastic, looks good on ducks, so if ducks are fine with it, plastic should be fine with it. Yeah, there's quite a bit of dust on there, so this dust actually might help 3D scanning, but instead of using the spray, if we have enough dust on there, it should do essentially the same thing, but yeah, don't know until you try, so you just give it a good spray, take your detailer brush and kind of just work it in the nooks and crannies. If you're impatient like me, you take your old impatient for it to dry, kind of dab it off with the towel, but take your old Harbor Freight blowgun, put it on high. Now the key is you don't want to get super close so you melt any of the plastic, but you just want a little bit of heat to kind of help evaporate the water, especially in those nooks and crannies. You definitely don't want to do this if the plastic is like really cold, especially this old stuff that's kind of fragile. So, you're not gonna get all the water, but you're gonna kind of help speed up the process. This is my mind. That's what you're doing. I don't know if you really are, but hey, I'm not no expert. And it kind of does feel good on your hands too, Yeah, it's not really doing anything. So anyways, so you actually just let it sit, let it air dry. And while you sit and wait, you just drink a couple more beers or whatever beverage you're into, Alright, now after you let it air dry, or if you use compressed air to speed up the air drying process, we're going to take our foot powder spray and we're not going to put it on our feet. We're going to put it on this dash. As you can see to the camera, it's kind of hard. It's like a big black blob. That's really what the 3D scanner is going to see too. It's just a black blob. You're not going to see the fine details. Since it's black, it's all a uniform color. It's kind of hard for cameras to pick up. And that's kind of the idea behind this powder spray, is it's going to throw a powder on there, and you don't want a nice even, spray everywhere. You kind of want it spotty for the camera to actually pick up the difference in geometry. So that's kind of the goal of this powder spray. And you shake it up and you turn it on, and I've never used this stuff before. Hopefully it wipes it out right off. They say it do. If it doesn't, well, sorry, Brian. You got a white dash now. Alright, you gotta turn it on. Okay. Is that lock? Unlock. There you go. Yeah. Opposite. Kind of just, see the kind of the powder coming on now. Hopefully on the camera you can kind of start picking up geometry of it. Kind of looks actually better upside down. You're supposed to do it upside down. Do not spray directly on clothes. That doesn't look like clothes, so it should be good there. You just kind of want a nice coating over everything. And really you're just trying to get it from being black. Because black is kind of hard on 3D scanners. Or as I've been told, I don't know, this is the first time 3D scanning, so no, the second time. Alright, since the front is good now, we're going to try not to rub any of that off. The back side. This stuff actually doesn't smell too bad. Kind of worried about these stinky stuff. The biggest area is here. You don't want to get nice and straight down. This is like the weirdest stuff to spray. It doesn't turn powdery right away. It has to dry or something. Get the nooks and crannies a little more. Move it down. Make sure you breathe deeply in when you're spraying this. For external use only, so keep that in mind, guys. Don't be a weirdo using this stuff. Alright, that looks like something. I don't know. Alright, so next step is to carefully move it inside where we're going to 3D scan it. I got it over my finger now. What does this stuff even do? Oh, another beer here, but keeps feet dry. Cool. Interesting. Alright, anyways, let's jump into inside. Alright, now we got it sprayed, moved it into the dining room table now. Again, the first step here is to clean your shit out. So you have less people commenting on how messy it is or whatever. I don't know. You do you. Anyways, so now got up the software for the was it Revopoint scanner here, and I'm just going through the settings now. Settings to scan it here. Let's try for the hell of it. Let's leave it high accuracy. Let's see what I can do. Tracking mode. We want feature tracking. Object. It's really not dark anymore, so general object should be fine. I don't know. We're just winging it right now. What's this for? Delete any unwanted, detected. I don't know. We should be able to not pick it up because we got the darker matte that comes with the Revopoint scanner. I don't know, it's kind of one of those chintzy garbage bag things. Anyways, let's for the hell of it, let's see what happens. So we're gonna have to first take another sip of your beer. All right, and that's called the thinking juice. So now we're gonna start thinking here. And then secondly, you want to get the most expensive lights you can, and you kind of don't want any shadows here. You kind of can see the shadow here. You don't really want that. Anyways, so that's why you buy the cheapest lights on Amazon you can find for that reason. But anyways, with that, let's see what we can do. Let's kind of get it started here. And let's just start the scan. And we lost it. Alright, let's cancel this. Let's, instead of high accuracy, let's just go with standard. To kind of zoom it out. That might be an issue. It might be just too small of a detail for it to pick up with the high detail. Kind of want to go nice and slow, and there's probably, and we lost it. All right. Well, we're doing good here. We're getting somewhere. Let's just bump up the scanning distance. You know, if you're a professional, you probably are looking at my settings and you're like, oh, that's no wonder he's having issues. But anyways, we're figuring it out as we go. So you can just kind of go slowly around. You kind of can see what's you're scanning. you can kind of see what you're missing too. And looks like we're not lining up. Nice. All right. Nice. Awesome. We're getting there. This is just practice. Just practicing. And we lost it. All right. Hit cancel. Cancel. All right. Hold on. Yeah, I'm trying to move it steady. Let's do hide surfaces. So I saw we kind of picked up the table on one of the scans.
All right, from here, let me speed it up here. I kind of spent several hours and a couple days here, just kind of dinking around with it. So I start out with the hide surfaces turned on, so to automatically detect any surfaces that I didn't think it was part of what I was scanning. I turned that off shortly afterwards here because the couple corners that was touching the table, it didn't really want to pick it up since it thought it was not part of the scan. So I turned it back off to get the full edge that I was kind of sitting on the table. And then from there, I kind of was discussing in the video here, but I sped it up. My methodology of scanning it, that was I kind of scan the front side and then flip it over and scan the back side and then kind of mesh them together, um, or merge them together as this software calls it. And in the long run, I shouldn't have done that. It caused a lot of headache and kind of a lot of backtracking because I couldn't. Once I got to the end there and it had the front and back, and I was trying to merge those two, the computer software, the software wasn't liking it. It said it was the overlaying parts were within less than 10% and it was freaking out and etc. I guess from there, the other route I went was kind of starting from the front. So I had my front scan and then I was kind of wrapping around the horn of it. So I was kind of trying to um, scan more and more of the front edge to kind of wrap around it. And then once I got enough wrapped around, then I could merge the front and back together to create a full piece. So I kind of, in overall, what I learned from here is you kind of want to start, take small pieces, especially this finer detail that's really flat, and then or smaller sections, I should say, smaller chunks, and kind of, and then save them, save a scan, each small section, and then merge them together, and then just kind of start wrapping around. Don't do a front and the back, and then expect to merge them together. I was having issues with that. However, again, more professional probably could do it. For a hobbyist here that picked it up first try here, this is what happened to me. So take my advice as a grain of salt. I'm not a professional. I'm just a hobbyist here. Um, so just kind of just start working around the object and smaller scans and then merge them together. The reason why I say smaller scans is you kind of can see a couple times it just lost where it was and it veered off and then it created a mess on my scan. So I kind of had to cancel it and then rescan it However, you can, in a scan, you can dig deep and edit the scan itself. So if you have a small spot that you just want to remove, you can manually go into um, the what do you call it, the point cloud, and you can select the ones you want to delete. You can do that. But I found it was probably quicker and easier just to do a bunch of small scans. If one failed, I just hit cancel and then rescan it, and I was off. So kind of two biggest takeaway is a bunch of small scans and just start working around, uh, and then kind of get all the pieces together. So that's the takeaway here, and then I'll jump back to it. The biggest takeaway, again, not a professional. I'm hoping to do more of this on my 58 project, so I will get more behind the wheel, behind the scanner time, as you want to call it. But otherwise, it's this is what my first go at it here. Overall, it turned out pretty good. The scan, there is a couple small sections here and there that it doesn't have any geometry or didn't pick up. Ultimately, I could go back and rescan those areas again, maybe switch it to high accuracy and try to get into the nooks and crannies, and then merge it onto my master one. But it's for what he needs. He doesn't need that, so it just overall. In the end, you have to determine when to stop. You can go down the rabbit hole and get it perfected and perfect, but at the end of the day, if you don't need that, you might as well not. It's a waste of time. You can spend that time somewhere else. But if you want to practice and get perfection, go right ahead. But for this case, I don't need that. I also want to mention that I did go into the kind of the final mesh and edit it a little more. I tried the fill holes, which if it kept on failing, I don't know why. I didn't really look into it too much. I smoothed it out a little bit, but the biggest thing was simplify. I simplified it quite a bit. My first export of the object file, and then I have a program that I found and kind of used here was file. Let me pull it up. File star. There we go. To convert the object file into a step file, because Creo doesn't. This CAD software that we use, it the easiest way is that step file import in it. So I use FileStar to convert that first file, or FileStar to convert that first file from object to step file, and it turned out to be like 1.5 gigabytes. It was a large file, so I went back and simplified it a little more, knocked it down. I was able to get down to like 250 megabytes, and speed time was quite a bit better. So that's kind of another thing, just to make sure, when you go back, if you can simplify it, you might as well. It will speed up processing time for sure. But otherwise, that was pretty easy software. I haven't really Googled anything yet on it, or read the directions, so it's pretty user friendly. But it's one of these things that it takes practice. It's once you have the lessons learned and the kind of best practices, I could see this being a pretty good scanner. It has its limitations, but that's what you get with any technology. It's it's designed to do one thing, and pretty much that one thing only. It can't do everything perfect. It's just it can't be done. But yeah, otherwise that's this 3D scanning here. Stay tuned for more. I will be by recording some more on my 58 project. Probably scanning the frame of the Ford Expedition, and then also scanning the bottom side of that 58 pickup. So that will be a challenge for sure. But I'll document my process through that and see how it turns out, and then hopefully you guys can learn something from this.
All right, so now after we're done 3D scanning here, we're gonna see how easy this foot spray is to wash off. I know it kind of wipes off easy, um, pretty easy. So we'll see what happens to water. Might be a bad thing or easy thing here. Oh, that doesn't look. Looks like it will wipe off fairly easy. Looks like we probably have to go over it with a detailing brush, but I'll do some work here and show the afterwards. And just like that, it cleans off pretty good. I had to use some soap. There's still kind of a slight, after just washing it, there was a slight kind of haze on it. So the Dawn dish soap took it off quite a bit more, and then I think ideally the last step is to hit it with some detailing spray and just kind of give it a final wipe down. But overall, this stuff comes off pretty easy. Pretty much wipes off, washes off. There's slight haze, but you hit it with some detailing spray and it'll finish getting that powder off. But overall, it works pretty good. A lot easier than removing stickers and other crap. And for the money, I think this can was $10 or something like that. And it's only like half used. So overall, and I was able to buy this in town locally instead of buying it online. So another plus there. But overall, worked pretty good.